Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. So it's been reported today that the LA Clippers are extremely interested in trading for Lonzo Ball from the Pelicans before next Thursday's NBA trade deadline is officially up. And if you ask me, this is honestly like the perfect move for this Clippers team as they try to, add a little spark to their team for the end of the season run, try to get better seeding, and really just find like that complete point guard that they have not really exactly had with Patrick Beverley. Nothing against Beverley as a player. I just think there comes down to, like something to be said about having a guy like Lonzo Ball, who in my opinion is one of the most underrated players in the entire NBA. Like, this is a guy that I think simply does not really get a ton of respect. Now, obviously, when you have LaMelo playing the way he's playing, when you have LeVar Ball, run his mouth about things left and right, it's kind of easy to for a guy like Lonzo to get lost in the shuffle. But for today's video, man, we are going to figure out that perfect trade. Before we get going on, if you guys don't mind dropping that like, 1,000 likes is always the goal. Check out my second channel, Extra Crispy, for daily NBA content over there. And my third channel, Crispy Flakes Plays, where I'm deep into a Detroit Pistons, my GM series. So, yeah, real quick here, I just want to take a quick moment just to give some praise towards Lonzo Ball, because so many of the things about him that were like big time concerns are really no longer concerns. Obviously, he's fixed his jump shot going back to last season. He's shooting 39% from three, man. So his rookie season, he was at about 30%, so he's all the way up to 39%. His free throw percentage has improved drastically, like a crazy amount, man. When he was a rookie, 45%. He's all the way up to 76%. Now, he doesn't really get to the free throw line a lot. He's only at about... Bro, he's only, gets there one time a game. Look at the stats right now, man, gets to the free throw line one time a game. So that's not great, I guess. Not really a good indicator, but hey, he's making more of them at least, right, man? How do you get there one time? That means you're literally just getting and ones, which is kind of cool if you think about it. But he is up to about 14 points a game, scoring 5 assists, 5 rebounds. The three-point shot at 39%, I think I already mentioned that. But regardless, his turnovers are down too. He's just a good player. I will say, the thing that does kind of concern me about him going to the Clippers team is, you look around this Pelicans team and you see a lot of guys with, Zion, Brandon Ingram. You really want this team running up and down the court. Obviously, Stan Van Gundy does not really like doing that. He just never really has. But, you actually go to the Clippers, and the thing about them is that they're actually even a slower team than the Pelicans are, because Lonzo, I do want running him up and down the court. But at the same time, too, I guess running him in a half-court set allows him to kind of more like focus on the passes he's making and making the right basketball choices. And obviously, having Kawhi Leonard and Paul George out there would definitely help out with that too, man. But yeah, just a natural playmaker, some of the best court vision in the NBA. It would work out pretty nicely. So, looking at the Clippers side of things, do they really have the asset to go for a guy like Lonzo Ball? Well, I'm going to say, man, not to be a meme or nothing like that, but I think Luke Kennard, honestly, on the Pelicans is the perfect fit. This man's shooting like 46% from three this season. Obviously, his contract, like a lot of Clipper fans are not really happy with it now because he's not been playing a ton. But I just don't really think there's been big time room for him here on this Clippers team to really get going. But, him spacing the court for guys like Zion and Ingram is perfect. And obviously, they got Eric Bledsoe, who they can put back at the natural point guard spot. Stan Van Gundy's always liked his three-point shooters. I mean, he could be like the JJ Redick of this team and just launch it up from three, man. So I honestly think Luke Kennard for Lonzo Ball, maybe not just that, but is not a bad start to a trade. So that's kind of going to be what we focus on here, man. And yeah, let's go ahead and hit up that trade finder, because I do look at it too, and I mean, Serge Ibaka would be the perfect fit for the Pelicans. I just feel like this is the type of center they could use, but I don't really see the Clippers giving up Serge Ibaka in this case. I feel like they're pretty happy with their center depth, and they're obviously going to need it. Now, I guess maybe if you want to like try to get like Steven Adams, that could work, but even at that point, it's like that doesn't make a ton of sense for the Pelicans, I guess. If Serge was younger, you can kind of focus on that, but it's going to be a trade focused around Luke Kennard for sure. And I think Lonzo is on the last year of his contract anyway. Yeah, it's on the final year of his contract. So, I mean, those expiring deals, LeVar's went on the record to say that he doesn't even want to play in New Orleans. So, whether that's true or not, you still kind of lose some trade leverage with that, like with a guy on an expiring contract that you really could just wait until the offseason to get. But the Clippers, having like Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, who are not old players, but, you don't want to waste a year or waste a playoff run with these guys, especially because they're both on... Well, I guess Paul George has a 4-year contract, but, Kawhi Leonard, we don't really know what he's going to do. You want to keep him happy, right, man? So this will be the focus of a trade. I do think also for this to happen, the Clippers, I would say probably give up a pick, although they don't really have a ton to do. I don't know if it would be like a Okay, I have it listed as a unprotected pick, but I do think it would be like a lottery protected or something like that. It would not be like a completely unprotected pick. Maybe like a top 10 protected, especially being, 4 or 5 years down the road. You definitely take on risk with that too. So I think it would be like a top 10 protected pick, Luke Kennard in exchange for Lonzo Ball. That seems like a pretty fair trade to me. I guess you could even go as far too as because like we got Lou Williams listed there. I think he would stick around because he said he would actually retire if he got traded away. I would not give up Patrick Beverly. I would be willing to toss in Reggie Jackson, but even that's not like necessary because the Pelicans do have like Kira Lewis Jr. out there, to run like they also got what's his name, man, Nickeil Alexander-Walker. So like they don't really need Reggie Jackson. I'm indifferent about Reggie at this point. I'll toss him in. Oh, now I need somebody else. Okay, Reggie's going to stay on the team. But, regardless, like, if they're looking to get some sort of guard back since they're giving up a point guard, then I guess you could see something like that happening. But overall, man, this is a pretty good, solid trade, if you ask me. The pick definitely helps. Anybody else I really want to toss in here? I mean, this guy's not really been playing for the Clippers, so I guess you could maybe do that just to get the Pelicans another young player. Let's do that. And then, is there anybody, like, veteran-wise that could help this team out right now? What about JJ Redick? Okay, that doesn't really work money-wise. That would actually be kind of interesting to get Redick back on the Clippers for like a low-key run. Or we got this Nicolo Melli. Let's do that, man. I don't really think he plays all that much. So they get a younger player, and they also get a stretch big over on the Clippers. I like that trade. Okay, we'll go ahead and do that. There we go. So that is the trade we are going to go with. So looking over on the Clippers now, obviously you have Lonzo Ball as the starter with Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Nicholas Batum, and Serge Ibaka. Bench unit. Yeah, what I'm going to do now, because I would want Patrick Beverly playing off the bench over Reggie Jackson. So we are going to put Lou Williams as the shooting guard. He goes up to an 82 overall. Man, that's six-man Lou right there. I don't really love the power forward. I guess Marcus Morris, he's been kind of struggling this season, but hopefully he can turn things back on. Like, the power forward spot definitely is a point of weakness for this squad. Because Batum, he doesn't really do much. I think he's basically just like a stand there in the corner 3-point shooter, which is kind of what he was, for his entire NBA career anyway, but I guess that can kind of work. But I like it, man. I feel like this helps out a lot. We're going to take away Reggie Jackson's minutes, and we'll get some more out here. Let's get Lonzo playing quite a bit, like 32 a game. Get Serge playing, a bit more right here himself. And obviously, you still got the fact with Lou Williams off the bench, man. And then real quick here, let's actually go and select the Pelicans, just to kind of see what they're looking like with Luke Kennard. Do you guys feel like that was a fair trade? I don't feel like it was bad, man. I don't feel like it was a bad trade. And, that's not me just juicing up Luke Kennard. I really do think, give him the right opportunity, he'll be in a better place. Yeah, man, I want to start him just because, I want to see how he does. So we'll start him right there. And let's assume that JJ Redick probably gets bought out of trade, so we'll take away his minutes. Like I said, I fully expect him to be traded by the trade deadline. And we'll get Luke playing a bit more, 25 a game. And we'll get him about 28. Eric Bledsoe right there. There we go. We don't really need 17 centers on this team playing, so take away his minutes. And we'll get Kira Lewis some backup point guard minutes, about 16 a game right there. And I like him, man. It's a nice, crispy-looking team. I don't know if it's extra crispy, but it's definitely a crispy-looking team, man. So, yeah, we got that for them. Alrighty. I guess we'll go ahead and simulate this season now and see exactly what happened. Simulate through dates. So, yeah, just real quicker, man. Talking about, I guess, real quick here, the Pelicans. I don't honestly think that team is going to do much this season unless Stan Van Gundy has a change of ways of how he coaches this team. I really think he needs to be focusing on just, straight up run the team a little bit more up and down the court, but then again, by getting rid of Lonzo, you kind of avoid doing that. I guess Eric Bledsoe would still run the ball and stuff, man, but, so I guess if you're not going to run the team how you should at least get players that run around your system. So, yeah, like I said, Luke Kennard definitely fits into a Stan Van Gundy system, and plus, yeah, Van Gundy actually drafted Luke Kennard, too, over Donovan Mitchell. Just gonna throw that one out there real quick there, man, but, yeah, and then over on the Clipper side of things, too, I don't know. I don't really know what to expect from the Clippers. I feel like this team has less depth than last year, but I have a feeling Paul George is really going to be heavily motivated come playoff time, man. I have a feeling we're going to see a different Paul George than years past. I don't know why. I feel like just the stuff's getting – I feel like he's getting sick and tired of the memes and stuff like that, but also by doing that, if you're focusing on proving the doubters wrong, then sometimes that can kind of fog up, your court vision and stuff like that too, man, where it's like, I don't know. Y'all know what I'm saying? Like, don't be focusing on the wrong things. Like, don't care about the haters. Like, go out there and try to play the best basketball possible and be motivated for different reasons. The Clippers absolutely dominating with Lonzo on the court, bro. Damn, man. And also keep in mind they are a completely healthy team too, because we do the entire season with no injuries on. 72-9. I don't know if Lonzo is that big of a game changer, but it definitely ain't bad. So, wow, we got LeBron MVP. There's all the other stats. Christian Wood. We got Tyrone Lewis, Coach of the Year. All-NBA first, All-NBA second, and All-NBA third. So we got Kawhi Leonard making that. Zion killing it on the Pelicans, too. Good for him over there, man. But, yeah, so we are the first seed in the Western Conference. The Pelicans actually managed to get the third seed with a completely healthy roster. See what my boy Luke Kennard did over there real quick. Let's go to the player stats on the season, though. So we got Kawhi at 29 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 25 for Paul George, 16 for Lou. Damn, playing like that six-man. Lonzo Ball, 15 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 and 2 steals per game. Still playing really high efficiency, 39% from 3. Managed 2 free throws a game while shooting 73%. So he just fit in perfectly with this team. That's great to see. Okay, and then looking over at the Pelicans side, Luke Kennard, man, 15 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, which is roughly what he did last year on the Detroit Pistons. Yeah, last year he was at 16 points, 4 assists as a full-time starter, 40% from 3, so went down a little bit, like I say, shooting close to about 46% right now, man, but I do still think he fits in pretty dang nicely around these other guys, and, like, you look at that starting 5, like, to me, like, that's, like, a complete team, like, that's a team that just kind of works, so you love seeing it, man, but yeah, let's go ahead and simulate these playoffs, you know, see if both teams can see each other in the Western Conference Finals. Probably not that, but the Clippers win 4-2, and the Pelicans sweep the Dallas Mavericks 4-0. So we got 27 for Paul George, 20 for Kawhi, 17 points for Lonzo Ball. And then we got Luke Kennard over here on the Pelicans, dropping a healthy 16-6. He's a pretty good playmaker too, man. Just going to say, simulate round. Here we go. And there we have it, man. We got the Clippers and Pelicans in the Western Conference Finals. So Lonzo Ball getting a chance against his former team. The Lakers did not make the playoffs. No, they did. They did make the playoffs. Well, they lost to the Pelicans. So, yeah, Lonzo's obviously no longer on the team. So, you know, we get... I don't know what I'm saying. Okay, here we go. Simulate round. Pelicans gone 4-2, as they should be in this case. The Clippers are a better team. Luke dropping 26, man, in his revenge game. 40 for Kawhi. Lonzo at 14-7. Here we go. Final 76ers simulate round. And there we have it, man. The LA Clippers. Kawhi Leonard, your finals MVP, winning it all, man. Lonzo Ball dropping 24 points in the closeout game. 117-112, man. There we have it, guys. So, yeah, I do think Lonzo is a game changer. I really think so. I love him in that role as that third option. I don't want him as, like, the first or second best player on my team, but, like, third or fourth option, having guys like Kawhi and, you know, Paul George scores like that around you, it just works, man. So, yeah, what do you guys all think about this trade? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for watching, and peace out, my friends.